What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Happy Friday. Man, it is an incredible week so far in terms of movie news, and we actually have a lot to talk about here. I've kind of narrowed it down into three big topics, but within those topics, we can definitely jump into all kinds of different areas. So if there's anyone jumping in live here with me, welcome. Definitely jump into the chat and let me know where you guys are from and what you guys are doing. What news do you want to talk about? And we'll try to get to you and respond to you as much as I can. I got a 30-minute stream here, so I'm definitely looking forward to interacting with you guys. So what we're going to be talking about today is something that recently just developed. We got Patty Jenkins. I think Zack Snyder actually tweeted it out first, but Zack Snyder tweeted it out, and then Patty Jenkins retweeted the announcement of a DC Fandome Wonder Woman 1984 virtual event, which is getting me incredibly hyped. Then we're gonna go into the whole streaming wars situation. We're gonna first talk about Denis Villeneuve and what he said in a Variety article directly towards Warner Brothers and AT&T, and then we're going to talk about Disney's Investor Day and all the crazy announcements from there. It is crazy. So what's going on, Diligent? You're looking forward to the Patty Jenkins talk for sure, and we're going to be talking about Patty Jenkins and probably jumping back and forth, especially when we get towards the end, the Disney part of things, because I'm seeing a lot of talk on Twitter and in terms of, what HBO Max should do in response to Disney and all that. So we're going to get into all that. Thank you guys for jumping in. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and please like this video. It really helps the channel. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first topic. I am actually on, where am I on? I'm on EW.com. So here's the headline, guys. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm seeing. So here we go. Internet, there we go. So you guys should be able to see what I'm seeing now, and I'm on EW. It says DC Fandome to return with Wonder Woman 1984 virtual premiere sneak peek. So I'll show you also what Patty Jenkins and Zack Snyder tweeted out in just a second, but let's go ahead and look into this article. This is kind of breaking right before I started the stream, so I'm kind of curious what the article says. Let's check it out. It says, as long as the pandemic persists, so will DC Fandome. On Friday, Gal Gadot announced via TikTok that DC Fandome, DC Comics event platform, is being revived for a Wonder Woman 1984 virtual premiere on December 15th at noon. Whereas this summer's DC Fandome event was basically a digital comic convention filled with panels for publishers, TV shows, movies, and comics. This event will be completely devoted to director Patty Jenkins' highly anticipated superhero epic. So let me see if there's anything taking place inside DC Fandome's Hall of Heroes. The premiere will begin behind the scenes featurette for the movie, which will lead right into a virtual red carpet hosted by Tiffany Smith. How lucky is she? During which Patty Jenkins, Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig, Pedro Pascal will answer fan questions. Once that is completed, Wonder Woman 1984 composer Hans Zimmer will treat attendees to a performance, followed by a sneak peek of the movie. Okay. So let's just go ahead and stop right there, guys. So I think it goes into some quotes. You guys can read the whole article on EW.com if you want. We're going to go into what Patty Jenkins had to say alongside Zack Snyder, but let's just break down and talk about exactly what it said so far. So first of all, if you guys watched DC Fandome over the summer, let me know if you guys did in the chat, because I got to say, the Wonder Woman 1984 panels, at least to me, were the most uninteresting panels. They were incredibly boring. I think they played some sort of game show on the panels. It was just not fun for me. Hold up, I'm just realizing I don't think you guys are seeing the article with me. Let me see if I can change that. Here we go. Let me see if I can change it. Okay, I hope you guys see the article now, just in case you haven't seen it. But yeah, so first of all, yes, they got to do better than what they did at DC Fandome over the summer. Everything at DC Fandome was pretty awesome, except for the boring panel of games they played at DC Fandome. But I'm really glad they're getting another chance to do this, because it sounds a lot more interesting what they're going to reveal. So first of all, they're going to, the movie's coming out on Christmas, and we don't have to wait long for that movie. So seeing another behind the scenes doesn't really interest me too much, to be honest. I'm not on TikTok. I don't know how many of you guys are on TikTok. Let me know in the comments or the chat if you guys are on TikTok. I think we have one, but we haven't been active on it. But the fact that Tiffany Smith, she's super lucky. We've been following her throughout her career for a while. She's really lucky to be able to do this stuff. But answering fan questions, that's okay too. But the big thing that's really exciting me is Hans Zimmer being able to treat attendees with a performance. Because Hans Zimmer, if you guys haven't realized, he makes the best superhero themes. And of course, that's subjective, but at least to me, he makes the greatest superhero themes. And the Wonder Woman theme is one of the most powerful themes out there. And I'm excited to see what kind of twists he gives to this one, with it being a 1984 time period. So super interested in that and seeing a live performance of Hans Zimmer. I've seen him live before. He's incredible. So that's what I'm really, really, really excited about. So yeah, this is DC Fandome. Are you guys going to be tuning in, or is it so close to the movie that you're not even interested in checking this out? Because we get to see the movie in about a couple weeks now. Christmas is coming up super fast. So let's go ahead and check out what Patty Jenkins actually said. So I'm here on our Twitter account now, and Patty Jenkins. Oh, actually, I first saw Zack Snyder post this right here, so you can see this fun little motion graphic, Wonder Woman 1984 premiere, and he says, "So proud to be a part of this." So the fact that Zack Snyder is going to be part of this, I'm wondering what is his role in terms of this event, because in the EW article you see nothing about that. Maybe it's just an interview. If so, I'm always excited to see what Zack Snyder has to say. But let's go ahead and look at what Patty Jenkins had to say in response. She says, "Thanks at Zack Snyder. Can't wait to be on the virtual red carpet and connect with fans and the cast. And though the movie itself will not premiere on Fandome, there might be a little something." So I'm curious to know what you guys want to see in terms of that little something. Do you guys want to see a clip from the movie? Or would you rather see an announcement? I'm hoping it's an announcement. Or could it be a sneak peek into one of Zack Snyder's projects that he has coming up? Doesn't make sense for it to do that, really. But I'm curious if you guys have any ideas, have any guesses of what it might be. Definitely let me know. So again, anyone who's joining in, watching right now, welcome. Definitely jump into the chat. Let me know you're in there. And feel free to comment in whatever you're thinking. So we just covered the DC Fandome Wonder Woman 1984 premiere topic. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. So as you can see, the next topic, I have a little graphic on here that has an image of the Dune trailer. And man, I gotta say, this one kind of disappointed me just a little bit, because I was super excited for, and I love this director, Denis Villeneuve, and I hope I'm saying his name right, but Denis Villeneuve went and did an exclusive with Variety, and he ripped WB and AT&T a new one. And I thought Christopher Nolan's comments were bad, but this probably takes the cake here, because I think this came out yesterday, and I'm just talking about it today. But it is big, and it's going to lead into the topic about Disney and their announcements, and then that's going to kind of lead into the whole conversation of these streaming wars, right? It's pretty crazy right now. So I'm going to read a lot from this article. Might read the whole thing, because this is like pretty much a letter to Variety, just speaking about how outraged Denis Villeneuve is. And if you guys don't know who Denis Villeneuve is he's going to direct the upcoming Dune remake, and he has directed some incredible movies. I don't think there's any movies that he put out that have been trash. I think so. He did Blade Runner 2024. Amazing. It didn't do so well financially, but it was absolutely amazing. I think he did Sicario, which was amazing as well. He did Prisoners, Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman, and our Riddler, Paul Dano, was in that movie. And it was, whoo, that was just one of those gripping movies. You could not hold still. I was just so anxious watching that movie. One of my favorite movies that he's put out. I'm forgetting what else he's directed. Oh, he's Arrival. He's just done so much great work, and he is one of the most talented directors out there right now. And he is about to destroy WB. And then let's just go ahead and see what he had to say. I learned in the news that Warner Brothers has decided to release Dune on HBO Max at the same time as our theatrical release, using prominent images from our movie to promote their streaming service. With this decision, AT&T has hijacked one of the most respectable and important studios in film history. There's absolutely no love for cinema, nor the audience here. It's all about the survival of a telecom mammoth, one that is currently bearing an astronomical debt of more than $150 billion. Therefore, even though Dune is about cinema and audiences, AT&T is about its own survival on Wall Street. With HBO Max's launch at a failure thus far, AT&T decided to sacrifice Warner Brothers' entire 2021 slate in a desperate attempt to grab the audience attention. And he does say more. And let's just talk about this right here, because the fact that he learned via the news that Warner Brothers was going to do this. Oh man, Warner Brothers, what were you thinking? I absolutely love Warner Brothers, and they just kind of fixed their reputation with the whole release the Snyder Cut movement. But now they did this. Now, don't get me wrong, I am so happy that they're releasing all these movies via streaming. I want to stay safe. I want to keep my family safe. I love the theatrical experience and would love to continue to support them. But you got to talk to your artists. You got to talk to all the people down the line before you make such a huge announcement. I would have assumed they did that, but they didn't. Now, if you watch, I really like Rob, who appears with John Campea on John Campea's vlog, his live stream, his daily live stream. I think Rob has a channel himself as well. But he talked about, if you watch his comments on this, Rob, this is the other Rob. I'm forgetting his last name. Let me know in the comments if you guys remember, or the chat, if you remember Rob's last name from the John Campea show, who also has his own show. But he basically said, and he talked to a big producer, and basically this is all, he's ripping AT&T here, but this is actually Warner Brothers' fault. Toby Emmerich, who was on the bad side of a lot of Snyder Cut fans and just recently got on the good side. Basically, I guess his scoop was that Toby Emmerich is the one who brought this idea to AT&T. So even though Denis Villeneuve is bashing AT&T, really it was Toby Emmerich's fault, who's really trying to pull a power play here and get some favor with AT&T. So this is really crazy. And the fact that it was, he calls the HBO Max launch a failure, that hurts. But I imagine it's going to be a lot better now that this 2021 slate has been announced. Michael 2_2XX says, I feel sorry for WB, to be honest. And I feel sorry too. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of good people over there that are working hard to please the fans, and man, but I also feel for the artists. I feel for the artists like Denis Villeneuve, who this was his passion project. This Dune was his passion project, and you're going to see in his future comments right now why it's going to matter a lot, and it really makes sense what he says. So let's continue reading. Warner Brothers' sudden reversal from being a legacy home for filmmakers to the new era of complete disregard draws a clear line for me. Filmmaking is a collaboration relying on the mutual trust of teamwork, and Warner Brothers has declared that they are no longer on the same team. Ouch, that hurts. Streaming services are a positive and powerful addition to the movie and TV ecosystems, but I want the audience to understand that streaming alone can't sustain the film industry as we knew it before COVID. Streaming can produce great content, but not movies of Dune's scope and scale. Warner Brothers' decision means Dune won't have the same chance to perform financially in order to be viable, and piracy will ultimately triumph. Warner Brothers might just have killed the Dune franchise. This one is for the fans. AT&T's John Stankey said that the streaming horse left the barn. In truth, the horse left the barn for the slaughterhouse. Wow, gosh. And he makes a great point. So a movie as massive as Dune, to be put on a streaming service, he makes it's so massive that how can a streaming service have the budget to make a sequel to the movie? He makes a good point in terms of not being able to make back its money and more enough to warrant a sequel. So the fact that he says it may have just killed Dune franchise, it makes sense. Now, a lot of people, including myself, have been fighting for the Snyder Cut for a couple years now. And now that we have it, there's a lot of talk and clamor for a sequel. Now, I would fully support and I want a sequel so bad. But in my head, I'm just like, and again, I'm just some nobody who knows nothing about this movie industry, but I can't imagine that it would be financially something that Warner Brothers could do. And what I mean is bring in all these actors back, pay them the salaries that they need, plus the back end deals that they have. How could they even afford to do a full sequel to Justice League? I can't imagine they will. But that's why I think we're hearing talk about an animated sequel or a comic book series that kind of expands on the Snyderverse. Because I can't imagine them doing something at this scope on HBO Max. Maybe if they put into the theaters, yes, and I hope they do that. But whatever they do, I hope they get a chance to do that, and I hope they get a chance to continue this Dune franchise if it is indeed amazing, like it looks like it is. Denis Villeneuve, like I said, an incredible director. Every movie he puts out is a masterpiece of sorts. I think I've seen all of his movies. I'm not sure, but I've seen most of them. And man, the guy is so talented. Let's see what you guys had to say. So Diligent says, this makes me so upset because I thought they got rid of the leeches in WB, and you're referring to Toby Emmerich. You're right. The now good directors won't want to work with the studio, which means bad movies or no movies in the future. Yes, and I think later in what he says here is that he stands in solidarity with the other directors who thought they were going to be having a theatrical release, a sole theatrical release, I should say. And he says he stands in solidarity. So absolutely nuts. Let's see. Let's just read what else, the rest of the things he had to say before we move on, because he does say more here. He says, Dune is by far the best movie I've ever made. That's saying a lot right there, guys. My team and I devoted more than 3 years to our lives to make it a unique big screen experience. Our movies, image, and sound were meticulously designed to be seen in theaters. I'm speaking on my own behalf, though I stand in solidarity with the 16 other filmmakers who now face the same fate. Please know I am with you in that together we are strong. The artists are the ones who create movies and series. I strongly believe in the future of cinema, and will be on the big screen no matter what any Wall Street dilettante says. Since the dawn of time, humans have deeply needed communal storytelling experiences. Cinema on the big screen is more than just a business. It's an art form that brings people together, celebrating humanity, enhancing our empathy for one another. It's one of the very last artistic in-person collective experiences we share as human beings. Very powerful letter that he sends out to Variety here. Man, what do you guys think of what he had to say? To me, this burns so much. Well, it burns. Christopher Nolan's comments were real bad. But this full-on article really explains and puts you on the side of the creators. Really, while I'm so hyped that, we're going to be able to see these movies, it's just a double-edged sword, because now you're crippling creators and really not wanting them. You're kind of encouraging them to almost seek out a different studio to work for, because again, I'm a creator of sorts. I have this channel, I have a lot of other projects that I work on the side for work professionally, and I am very very much a control freak and how I want things to be presented. And I'm sure these directors who've devoted years of their lives to this, it just hurts much more. So curious to know what you guys think. Okay, Diligent says, now I think WB needs to do this is fire the culprit and do a complete 180 on that direct to streaming movie decision. Let someone take the fall and let that be Toby, and that can be Toby. And you're right. I think there's really only two ways to go about this. You either pay out those directors, which doesn't really do much in terms of letting their work be presented in the way they wanted. So the other thing they can do is kind of reverse the decision, and that's going to be hard to do, especially for all the people who maybe just signed up for HBO Max, including myself, just recently. It's going to feel like they got cheated. So it's a double-edged sword, and I'm curious where you guys fall on this issue. It's pretty nuts, and the reason why this kind of ties into the whole Disney thing is because our very own, and I'll spoil this part of it. Our very own Patty Jenkins is now on the side of Disney producing a Star Wars movie, and that's moving us into the next topic, guys. So Disney announced they had their what is it called? They had their investor announcement, their investor day announcements, and it seemed like they reacted to all the things that were going on with WB, and now they have just kind of dropped a ton of things on us. And I gotta say, I'm a fan of both the MCU, and I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, even Disney Star Wars. I'm just gonna be a big fan of Star Wars for the rest of my life, to be honest. It's kind of hard not to say that. But I understand there's a lot of people who aren't and have strong feelings about it. But Disney and Marvel, what they just announced yesterday, kind of took the news by storm, and there is so much to be excited about if you're a comic book fan in general, and even if you're a offhanded fan of Marvel, MCU, Star Wars stuff. There's just so much content that they're releasing on Disney Plus that the price of what I can't remember, it's like $10 a month that I'm paying. It makes it so much worth it. Now let's go ahead and talk about all the announcements, and we're also going to talk about Patty Jenkins jumping over to Star Wars here. So again, all this stuff kind of ties in. What HBO is doing with HBO Max and the way they did it, maybe maybe encouraging other directors to kind of seek other studios. So let's just go into it first. That's kind of getting a little ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and start just going off the list. Just talk about everything that was announced. Now, Darren did some reactions to some trailers from yesterday. So check those out on our channel. The reactions to the trailers. This should be fun. Darren's doing them, and he also talked about the whole Deathstroke story. So I'm not going to talk about that here. But at the end of the stream, you guys can ask me anything before I sign out. And we got about 15 more minutes left. So let me get through this right here. So the Disney announcements that were announced. Let's go through the Marvel stuff first, the Disney Plus stuff. So WandaVision came out with a new trailer. To be honest, I'm going to watch WandaVision for sure. I haven't seen any trailer yet. For some reason, I just haven't watched them. I did watch the other trailers that came out. I haven't watched the WandaVision trailer, but I'm already going to watch it. So I have Disney Plus. So that came out. If you guys saw it, let me know how you like it. So the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer came out. I thought that was pretty cool. It looked cooler than I expected, to be honest. And especially the Loki trailer that came out. A bunch of things happening that I don't know what, I have no idea what's happening in there, but it looks, it piqued my interest more than I was before, and that's the job of a trailer, so it did a good job there. Hawkeye's premiering on Disney Plus in late fall of 2021. That's cool. We just saw Haley Steinfeld in her suit. I forget what her character's name is again. But she looked cool. I'm a fan of Haley Steinfeld. What If, the animated series, that should be fun. Kevin Feige announced 3 new series coming to Disney Plus: Ironheart, Riri Williams' Armor Wars, and so Ironheart is Riri Williams, the kind of successor to Iron Man. Armor Wars is gonna star Don Cheadle in War Machine's efforts to kind of fight back against all of the tech that Tony created. And then there's also going to be a Secret Invasion show with Nick Fury. That sounds cool, and I imagine they're going to bring that storyline into the big screen, since it's such a huge Marvel storyline and one of the most successful crossover events in recent memory. So they're going to bring that to the big screen. So that should be cool. So it's like Marvel's doing it right. They're kind of creating this infrastructure of movies where you got to watch one to understand all of them, and it's going to be hard for a lot of people, but a lot of us have seen it, so or on top of things. So Kevin Feige gave some casting announcements. Moon Knight, She-Hulk. Actually, they announced Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac has not been announced as Moon Knight yet, but he was announced as Solid Snake from Metal Gear. Crazy. She-Hulk and Miss Marvel were kind of given a sizzle reel. Um, Captain Marvel 2's director, Nia, I'm forgetting her name, but props to her. Nia, I forget her name. Nia something. And then so they're working on a new Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special for Disney Plus. That means James Gunn is super busy. Man, that guy's busy. He's writing that TV show for HBO Max, Peacemaker show. And yeah, I guess he's kind of doing something in the vein of the Star Wars holiday special. James Gunn always doing stuff like that. It kind of fits his personality. Let's talk movies right now for MCU. So Black Panther 2 will not recast Chadwick Boseman's King T'Challa. The right decision, in my opinion. He was such an iconic character, and it was such an iconic movie that I can't even see anyone try and reprise that role. So still going to be directed by Ryan Coogler in July of 2022. A third Ant-Man film, Quantum Mania. I'm not a fan of the name. Sounds really, really cheesy. But all the characters are going to come back. Kang the Conqueror will be the villain, like we thought. Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness will tie into to both the WandaVision and Sony's Marvel Spider-Man movie, which is, and Doctor Strange. Yeah, so that's going to be, like I said, you got to watch one to understand them all. Kind of crazy. I'm excited for the whole Spider-Man situation, but let's look into Star Wars and Disney Plus. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi announced. Hell yes. You know I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And even bigger, Anakin is coming back as Darth Vader in here. That's going to be insane. I'm curious to how they're going to weave that into the narrative of the Star Wars narrative. How are they going to change things up? It's weird. I don't know how they're going to interact again without kind of diluting what happened in the first original Star Wars movie, Episode 4. So I'm excited for that. They got the Bad Batch animated series. Not excited for that. Andor, Lando's gonna get an event series. That should be fun. I might be down for that. I'm for sure gonna watch it. But what else? So the big thing for me, Taika Waititi is gonna get a Star Wars movie announced. First announced in May, but now it's confirmed in development. So Taika Waititi, I'm excited for what he's going to do, because if you watched The Mandalorian, he's been a part of that. He's directed like an episode or two, and he's great. Everything with that show is awesome. But Wonder Woman 1984's Patty Jenkins will be directing the next Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadron, due out in December 2023. Rogue Squadron is a group led by Wedge Antilles, who was pretty much I think he was in every Star Wars movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but damn, Patty Jenkins jumped ship. Now she's working with Disney. That's why she said that Wonder Woman 1984 would be her last Wonder Woman movie. It looks like, I don't know, I'm wondering, let me know what you guys think, but did she see the tea leaves ahead of time and realize what, WB was doing? Or is it just time for her to take on a new franchise? It could be totally just that. But I think a lot of directors will probably follow suit, especially after the HBO Max announcement with Warner Brothers. So Patty Jenkins, I never would have guessed she would do a Star Wars movie, but with her success on Wonder Woman, I'm sure they're going to. Hollywood took notice and they want a piece of her for sure. So, am I excited? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's not a lot of details about Rogue Squadron and what's going to be about. But man, Patty Jenkins doing a Star Wars movie. Who would have guessed? I see a lot of talk on Twitter about people wanting Zack Snyder to do a Star Wars movie because he is a fan. I don't think that's going to happen. If it did happen, cool. But I think he even mentioned on streams before that he can't see himself doing it. But Patty Jenkins doing it, man, that is pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about that. So, the whole streaming situation is crazy. It feels like the new normal moving forward. Though I am a big proponent of the cinema and seeing movies in theaters and experiencing movies, it doesn't feel like the same experience when you watch a movie at home. You don't seem immersed in the movie as much as you would in a theater, at least in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. So I think this whole streaming situation is going to be continuously changing. It feels like, as a fan, like one day it's good news, and then you hear the other side of things with these directors, then you feel like, damn, was that a good decision? But, times are changing, and this world, you can never predict what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, people want to stay safe. So I imagine this streaming situation is going to continue for the foreseeable future. And I think once you open the box, it's going to be hard to close it. So, oh man, this whole situation, I hope the best for Hollywood. I know there's a bunch of rich people in there, but there's also a lot of struggling, starving artists that want to get a break too. I want to see movies continue to be at the same level of quality that they are right now. And I'm scared that if movies stay, they remain streaming, or streaming becomes the main way to see movies, that, like Denis Villeneuve said, these massive big budget event movies might not be as prominent anymore. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this whole streaming wars situation. Let me know what your thoughts are on streaming. This is absolutely nuts, guys. So I'm on here for just a few more minutes. You guys have anything? If you guys have anything you want to ask, feel free to ask. I'm streaming for just a few more minutes, and I'd be happy to respond. Thank you guys for watching, whoever's jumping in here with me, Diligent, Michael2XX, and the others who are on here. I'm really excited for really what's to come, because my plans for the foreseeable future, my plans is just to enjoy the holiday season. I don't want to think too much about, I'm not thinking too much about, how I'm going, or what I'm going to support or not. I'm gonna go watch the movies I want to watch, and right now I'm pretty much subscribed to all the streaming services out there. So I'm like wasting a lot of money, and but they're making it worth it right now. So I can't wait to be honest though, seeing Patty Jenkins do this virtual red carpet. I think she's gonna be at an IMAX theater. Man, it's really making me wish that, or it's really making me think back to when we could watch movies in a movie theater, and I miss that experience. I'm sure a lot of people do. So Amru43 says, great stream, keep up the good work. I appreciate it, bro. We're trying to do more streaming on here. At least I'm getting into the flow of things, and I'm gonna definitely keep up the streaming. I really like interacting with the audience. And we're gonna do more in the future. But now that this Wonder Woman 1984 kind of this event is happening on DC Fandome, I wonder if it's even worth doing a live stream of the first Wonder Woman. Darren and I will be jumping on a live stream soon. Just stay tuned for an announcement for that. Just trying to work things out with our schedules. But that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. If I don't see you, or if I don't stream till then, I'm sure I will. But guys, take care. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. And I appreciate you guys watching once again. I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend.